All right, let's bust some myths. Myth number 2, high reps tone your muscles. Now, this is a tricky subject, but at the same time, it's really wrong. Okay, now, let me be real specific about that. Because people are going to get two different understandings of just saying that high reps tone muscles. So, one, if you're going to a what they call like body pump classes, classes where the weights are really light and you're doing a lot of reps or a lot of reps, and so it burns, but it's not really stimulating a lot of muscle fibers as far as like using enough weight to really stimulate the body itself to work hard. Now, it feels hard because it's burning, but that doesn't really necessarily mean that it's actually doing anything for you. Now, I'm not saying that you have to use heavy weight, but what I am saying that is if your goal, which most people is, if they're doing these high rep circuits to tone up, they're usually doing it to lose weight. And if your goal is to lose weight, then you need to use heavier weight, okay? So if you're trying to tone up your body, this and that, using very light weights for very high reps is not gonna work, okay? So you use like a heavier weight. Just so we can kind of somewhat have an understanding of what I'm talking about. Let's say you're standing in a class and they're doing shoulder presses with dumbbells, all right? And you pick up a pair of dumbbells that are 8 pounds. And you're in the class and you're just, man, you're burning them out. Well, after like say the 10th one and you're doing it say for a minute circuit, after the 10th one, your shoulder's starting to burn, okay? And then by rep number 15, they're like on fire. And so you put it down, you take a couple seconds break, and then you pick it back up, and you try to do as the best you can for that minute. Now, the problem with that though is you stimulate a lot of lactic acid buildup, which there is some positive benefits, but it would have been so much more beneficial if, say, instead of picking up an 8-pound dumbbell, you would have picked up 15-pound dumbbells or 20-pound dumbbells. Now, you're going to say, well, Jules, that's really heavy. I can't do a lot of reps. Yes, but if you're doing a time set for 60 seconds, you could have done like 3 reps, take a 5-second break, 3 reps, take a 5-second break, 3 reps, until the minute duration of the set is done. And you would have gotten a lot more of a beneficial workout out of that way because you have stimulated more muscle fibers by pushing heavier weight, all right? That leads to muscle breakdown and so on, and that's why you eat right and rebuild your muscles, and that's how everything gets toned up. And if you're to do this back and forth for upper body and lower body exercises, you're going to generate more of a fat loss because you're going to increase your growth hormone by supersetting or substituting upper and lower body exercises, alternating, whatever. The other counterpart to that is that high reps don't tone up muscles. What will confuse people is that you see a lot of people say now into the high intensity training, circuit training, CrossFit style training, things like that. But understand that those models of trainings for the most part, especially like say, like in CrossFit, just watch the CrossFit games, okay? They're not using weight that's extremely light for 50 reps. They may say that they have to perform 50 reps, but they have a set rep protocol that they have to use because the weight itself is already predetermined and it's a heavy weight to ensure that they're working towards a harder workout, so say. So that falls into like what I just said. You know, they're still doing, say, high reps. They still may achieve 50 reps, but they're doing it with a heavier weight, and they don't stop until they achieve a set amount of reps. So if your goal is to lose weight, even build muscle and tone up, okay, then there's nothing wrong with doing high reps. What's the problem is you need to not use lighter weight, okay? You need to use a heavier weight, okay? You want something that's completely fatigue the body in that body area, in that muscle group. You don't want to do a whole bunch of reps and just feel like, oh my gosh, man, it's burning, but you know, you feel fine. The whole point of working out is to break the body down, then allow the body to rebuild back up. And it's an ongoing cycle, and this is how you get better and better and better, okay? It's not just to kind of go through the motions. So I hope that helps you out or clears up a little bit of some of the misunderstanding of the high reps will tone your muscles. You need to use a heavier weight. It doesn't have to be weight that's so heavy that you can only do 3 reps like I said before. It could be something as simple that knocking out 8 reps and then taking a break, and then knocking out 8 reps and taking a break. But regardless if you have a set time set or you have a set amount of reps for your protocol that you have to reach for the set itself or for the complex or for the whole entire workout, like we said earlier, 50 reps, you're better off using a moderately heavier weight than extremely lightweight. You'll get a lot more beneficial actions that way. Okay, so one other thing is that you don't want to focus so much on isolated movements. This is another big thing that you see into large group classes that we don't do very much at my gym where we train and I train clients, is that even though we may be doing a lot of group exercises, group classes and things like that, we're not standing around with 5-pound dumbbells and like, oh yeah, wrap it out. All right, my arms are on fire. All right. We try to use more compound movements. And so what I mean by compound movements is something that's going to utilize the body as a whole, okay? So we do a lot more rotation exercises, a lot more pushing exercises, a lot more pulling exercises, and exercises that are more fundamentally sound as far as like actually pushing sleds, pulling sleds, and not just walking backwards, actually pulling using your back muscles. Things like that incorporate more than one muscle group at one time, which then will facilitate more calorie burn because you are working more muscle fibers, and then you are going to achieve your goal faster, regardless if it's to lose weight, tone up, or build muscle. Those are still common core that you should use regardless in your workouts, whatever your goal is. So I hope that kind of sheds a little bit of a light on debunking the myth of high reps tone muscles, because it's kind of basically horse crap. It's not that it can't work, it's just that and this is why you see people quit. It works at such a snail's pace that the results are so low that you can barely see anything accomplished, and that then determines the negativity of the actions you start thinking, and it deters you away from wanting to work out at all. That's why you see people quit after a month, they quit after even 3 months, because maybe they lost 5 pounds in the first month. They're like, oh, that's awesome, I never lost 5 pounds before, and then they boom, they're at a standstill. But I mean, all they're doing is just these baby high rep exercises, or not even full range motion exercises, which there's partial reps are fine if you're an elite athlete or an elite bodybuilder. They're not for beginners. I don't even recommend it for intermediates. That's a completely different topic. So I hope this helps out. And if you have any questions on high reps and toned muscles, feel free to comment below and I will answer your questions. Thanks.